3 things you need to know about new construction.
Coming up next on Real Estate Dirt.
So 3 things you need to know about new construction before you buy it, I think, right?
Probably good things to know.
Good
that
things to know.
I would say most people don't know before they buy new construction.
So we're going to see if you got this. So 3 things. Let's start with number 1. Number 1 is, I hope you realize that when you go to visit the builder, and this might be the only real obvious one of the 3, that the people there represent the builder. It's almost like going to a for sale by owner.
True.
They are all in it for themselves, and you have nobody on your side because the people working there work for the builder. The
True.
builder wants the most for their house. They want to sell you upgrades in the house so that you spend more money. They want to control which lots you buy. They only open up so many. I mean, there's all sorts of strategies. They're not on your side. They're friendly, but they're not on your side.
You know, right when you said they only offer certain lots, I thought to myself, every time I've gone into a builder's office with a client, they always seem to, the lots are going fast. The lots are going fast. Well, wait a minute. Most of the subdivision hasn't even been built yet. Oh, but the premium lots are going fast. And I've noticed that just about every lot is a premium lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's all sorts, and they can only release certain sections at a time. I know they have to get permits and so forth. But anyway, nonetheless, just know that if you walk in there, they love it if you don't come with representation of your own.
They love it.
Okay? But on the flip side, please know that builders also need us. So they need the exposure, and they come to us plenty of times asking us to bring clients to them. So keep in mind, it works 2 ways. But when you go in there on your own, if you don't go on the first visit, and I know it's super tempting, you are going in underrepresented, and then the builder won't let you bring anybody back. So they get you. Just know it's like going to a for sale by owner. So they're not working for your best interest. They're working for their own best interest, not yours.
Completely 100% spot on true.
So number 2, what you may or may not know is that if the house is not already built and ready to go, so sometimes builders have homes that are already done. Let's say the last buyer didn't go through with the property. They call it a spec home. So it's already built. You can't pick any finishes or changes to the home, but it's ready to occupy. That's the only exception. Anything that's to be built, please know that if you are getting a loan, you cannot lock in your rate until there is a structure on the land that is occupiable. So if it's land today and you sign with the builder and rates are currently at 6 or 7%, and 9 months from now, it takes to put the building on there 6 months, whatever the months are, whatever the rate is at the time the structure is built is the rate you're going to get on your loan, because you cannot lock a loan without a structure. So I think a lot of people don't realize that. And you had a client who ran into that, selling their home. They had to wait to put their house on the market, and they sold their home, and then the rate was higher than when they originally calculated their monthly expenses from the previous rate. So I think that is a huge thing.
You have to build in just in your budget, just know in the back of your head, you have to build in that little buffer just in case rates fluctuate.
Number 3 is the deposit. You always have to put down a deposit on the new build when you sign a contract, and just like you do earnest money with a not a second home, a resale home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With an existing home.
With an existing home. But with the builder, I think what you need to understand is that in a resale home or an existing home, you do have some outs. You have a 5-day attorney review, and you have usually a financing contingency. And I know some of the builders' contracts say financing contingency, etc. But I just want to say this in 19 years of experience. Once you put down a deposit with the builder, you're not getting it back. I actually don't care what the contract says. They have a way around it. I have never seen the money go back. So I'd rather tell you the worst case scenario and say, when you put that money down, be sure that it's everything that you want and you're aware of the risks and whatever you have to do. And it's fine. There's risks in everything. Okay. Nothing's perfect. There's pros and cons to all things. you're never getting the money back. So if you don't close, you're out, whatever that percentage is. Whether you put down 5,000 or 50,000, kiss it goodbye.
A few years ago, prior to the last boom that we had, where homes were flying off the shelves and every home had 50 offers and all that sort of thing, I had a client the same client we were just talking about, that put $25,000 down on a new construction home. Did that before they ever met with any realtors to sell their existing home. They needed to sell to buy. And at the time, this was in a buyer's advantage market. So they ended up having to sell their existing home, for less than what they wanted to, because they had to get rid of it quick so that they didn't incur any late penalties for not closing on time with the builder. And I think at the time, the per day or per diem penalty was $1,000 a day.
So per day, if you're late buying it, it's $1,000 a day. And if you don't buy it, they're going to keep your money. So those are the top 3 things. 1, don't go in unrepresented. Please know you can't lock in your rate till there's a structure that's occupiable. And 3, I don't really care what the contract says. I'd rather you go in saying, hey, whatever I'm putting down, I'm never getting it back if I don't close. So I think those are the 3 ways to approach it. On the flip side, obviously it's new construction and it's beautiful. Nobody's ever lived in it. And there's tons of perks with that as well. So if we gave you valuable information today on buying new construction, maybe think what other value we could provide if you take us with you.
I'm pretty darn valuable.
Because you don't know what you don't know, and the rabbit hole is deep when it comes to purchasing a property, whether it's new construction or resale. So as things come up, we have the experience to back it up. So if you or anybody you know is thinking about buying a home, new or resale, be sure to reach out to us in the Chicagoland area.
TeamTudisco.com. Like and subscribe, and peace.
Are you going to do this thing or what?
We're going to do this. Do it with me. We're going to do this thing.
Well, ain't nobody
We're going to do this thing.
Ain't nobody got time.
No, you got to get you got to get your flex on. Come on, try it. Do it.
Do it! Come on, nobody cares. Come on. Nobody cares.